Welcome to the Sports Business Classroom audio experience. My name is Marlena Rodriguez, and I am an alum of the Sports Business Classroom immersive program from 2021, where I took part in the media and broadcast major. For the next several weeks, I will be hosting an alumni takeover series where I highlight some of the people I look up to in my profession. I'm super excited to be reunited with the SBC team again, and I can't wait to share with you all the amazing content we have prepared. Today's guest is the talented Dazmine Simpson, Client Relations Manager of Young Money APAA Sports. Daz is one of the hardest working in this industry and is constantly pushing the boundaries in this business. In this episode, you will hear the names of so many people who have guided and showed love to Daz throughout his career so far and turned him into the man he is today. He breaks down what it is like working for a top sports agency and representing athletes on a daily basis. Daz mentions the importance of taking risks to achieve your highest goals and reminds us that the grind never stops. I give you Dazmine Simpson. Yes, thank you so much for joining us on the SBC podcast. We have Dazz Simpson. I am so excited to have you on the show and appreciate you. Ladies and gentlemen, he had his voice. His voice was like so bad last week. We were supposed to have him on, but he's sounding perfect now. But Daz, I hope you're well. Thank you for hopping on.
Thank you for having me.
So you're in Charlotte right now. Basically, you're a client relations manager. We're going to dive into like all your business side of like sports in the sports industry right now. But for people who don't know you, give us a little behind the scenes of who Daz is, little background, and kind of how you got involved with sports overall.
My name is Dazmine Simpson. I'm from Spartanburg, South Carolina. It's a small town, but it's real big in sports. We have a lot of guys where I'm from in professional athlete and in the professional world as athletes. Debo Samuel, he's from Spartanburg, South Carolina. Zion Wilson is also from Spartanburg, South Carolina. Two guys who are doing great in both their sports and professions. So where I'm from, it's a real big sports town. So that's pretty much how I got into it just from the get-go. It's just I grew up in it, my upbringing, my parents played sports as well. I just fell in love with it.
Who's the one that kind of, I know you said both of your parents, but who gave that extra like nudge to like be involved in sports? Be like, go outside and go do it.
My mom. I say my mom. My mom is she's a go-getter. So that's pretty much how she raised me and my siblings to be as well. I say my dad isn't, but my mom's definitely the outspoken in the family, and she's the one that pushes us to, never settle for mediocrity. So she always wants us to be the best that we can be. So definitely my mom.
Well, she sounds like an awesome role model. Shout out to your mom if you're gonna have to show her this episode. But speaking of, you're talking about your parents and, speaking about your mom, but talk about other role models that have kind of helped you in your path of kind of, I know you did sports management in college. Like, how was that experience?
So in 2023, my main focus has been giving back to people that's helped me along the way. So far as role models, if I just name a few, I'm leaving a lot of people out. I have, it takes a village to raise a child. So I'm not going to just say it's only my parents. I had a lot of people that had a lot of their hands on me to help mold me into the person that I am. But if I had to single someone out, I would say my mom did. All praises to her and my grandmother. They really took their time with me. I was the rebel growing up. I was the wild child, as they say. So I was a little hard-headed, but it took, like I said, they took their time with me and really, helped me grow as a man. As far as in the sports industry, my first foot in the door was with David Cantor. At the time, his agency was called DEC Management. He rebranded. I can't think on top of my head what's the name of the agency is now, but real good Asian, a family friend of my parents. I call him my uncle. His name is Stephen Davis. He played for the He played for Auburn, got drafted to the Redskins, and ended up playing for the Charlotte, for the Carolina Panthers. So I call him Uncle Steve, but he's a family close friend, and he was also, David Cantor was my uncle's NFL agent.
Oh, wow.
Me and David was also in my uncle's wedding when he got married. So I had the connections the whole time without even realizing. So when I was my senior year of college, I did a virtual internship with David while I was in school, and he put me out. He put me under his wing, taught me a lot of knowledge, taught me all about networking and connections, and put me in different rooms as well to meet different people. So that makes to see my.
That's awesome. You're mentioning how he taught you so many other things, but can you share with a few that kind of stand out as far as networking? Because a lot of our audience that is listening to this show right now, they're either up and coming individuals looking to, do what you do or break into the sports industry. Can you give them a little teaser or a little insight on that?
So to go more in depth, so the main thing that David taught me was networking and creating these connections. I went to a very small school. At the time, it was called Limestone College, and they changed the name to Limestone University. And it's real small, and David was just telling me, because I wanted to work in the NBA. I wanted to do basketball. David's strictly football. So I had him doing an internship, for a football agency, but I want to work in basketball, so I had to adapt and just learn. And like I said, he just taught me how to assert myself and put myself out there more. So just having conversations, letting people know who I am, what I'm looking to do, what I'm trying to do, what I'm looking to accomplish. And he also taught me just that, you keep doing that, you're going to wind up, right people along the path. Closed mouths don't get fed. Keep putting yourself out there. And that's the main thing that he would literally just insert into me. It's even a point when I did eventually, sign to Young Money APAA. He reached out to me, thanked me, he thanked me. It was just weird. But he thanked me for listening to everything he taught me while I was in school. I graduated school 5 years ago, and for him to still see that I accomplished every goal I set for myself, he thanked me and told me how proud he was of me. So I said that's one of the biggest things I took from David was definitely networking, because he told me that your network is your net worth. That is wisdom right there. Go, pat yourself on the back. Dazz, you've been through it. You've been through the ringer. I appreciate you. You have no idea. I've definitely been through it. Like my whole entire journey to get into the sports world is definitely a story to tell. Such a good book. Right? When people talk about their journeys, their careers, you have stories for days, and people can basically invest in your knowledge, and you could share. And you talked about motivational speaking. We're going to get into that later, but it's funny because you're so good at guys, this is his first show that he's been on, and he was thinking that he was going to, not do so well, but he's coming out of his comfort zone, and you're doing such a great job. And, I see this in your future doing much more. So stay tuned. Yeah. Okay. So we talked about, so let's dive in. You're talking about this, sports agency right now, Young Money. You brought that up. How was that your goal overall? I know you talked about how you kind of did football a bit, but as far as agency wise, did you see that in your future, being a part of an agency? When I first started out, yes. And then in between, it kind of seemed like a far-fetched dream at one point. But ultimately, yes, I did. When I first started, I really did. And it's crazy because my grandma always told me, you stop chasing something, it comes to you. And that's literally what happened. I was chasing this goal for so long, and it seemed like it wasn't going to happen. When I was saying about with me and David, I stepped away from the position I was at because I wanted to do basketball. I know some people was like, what's the difference? But, I played football. I know a little bit about football. Basketball, I have all the knowledge in the world about. So I wanted to do something that I was more passionate and was in love with. So working the whole agency side of things, like I said, it wasn't my goal in the middle. It wasn't beginning, but it didn't seem like it at first. But once I stopped chasing it, it came true. Young Money APAA reached out to me via Instagram. A guy named Jesse Foreman. He's an NFL agent with Young Money APAA. We had a phone call, and he added our guy Adi and make darts to the call as well. It was a great, genuine conversation that we had. That they wanted to know my experience, want to know what I've done recently, what clients that I've brought to my previous company, and what clients I have now. And it all just made sense. And that's how I ended up working out. But like I said, in the beginning, when I was in college, my senior year, I was definitely a goal. And in between the journey, it didn't seem like it. And I really like literally stopped chasing that goal for a second, and it just came to me.
So my next question was this basically, did you apply or was it a happy accident, but they DM'd you? How was, like, where were you? Do you remember that like moment in time that you got that DM via Instagram?
Yeah, so I was here in Charlotte. I was with Bryce. Bryce is one of my clients. He works for the Charlotte. He plays for the Charlotte Hornets. He's a rookie there, and me and him was in the gym while he was working out. He was training, and I got the message, and yeah, it went from there. It was okay. It was unbelievable. It was.
Your phone? I hope not. Did your jaw drop?
Nah, because I'll be honest, I've had a lot of people contact me over the years and sell me drink. I had a lot of different guys and a lot of different agencies, talk a very good game, and nothing came through with it. So when he did message me, no, I wasn't too overly excited. I wasn't like, oh my God. I was just like, we'll see where it goes. Like people always say how they did stuff on their own, but at one point I was doing this whole sports stuff on my own at one point. So when it came to the message, like I said, I didn't have really a drastic reaction. It was more of a, if it goes well, it goes well. If it don't, it don't. I'm still staying my course with God that He has me on.
You talked about doing this on your own. I think a lot of people start doing that when they have a passion. They kind of, pick up the pieces and try to make everything work. If they don't have someone as far as resources or whatnot. What were some of those things that you did that were on your own before, all of this hype kind of started with you?
Recruitment as well, doing marketing and management. I was working for a management company that I had parted ways with. My main goal was to have my first client, and I did with Bryce. And I had brought Bryce to the management company I was previously with, but his family felt they want to go a different direction. So he pretty much gave me an ultimatum. They was just like, if you stay with him, we're going to let you go as well, or you can, part ways with him and you keep Bryce as a client. So I parted ways and I kept Bryce as a client, and I was doing everything freelance, and out my own pocket. So for a few months, is why I really did a lot of stuff on my own. As far as we did, me and his parents planned, because I like to give people big credit as well. I'm not gonna say I did this by myself, but me and his father and his parents, they're both educators at Bryce hometown. So I had collab with them to do a thank you tour for Bryce when he went back. He went back to his older high school, middle school, and elementary, where he got to speak to all grade levels. He signed probably over 2,000 autographs, no exaggeration.
Wow.
Like he signed an autograph for every single kid in the school. He even went to the high school football game, and he gave the school and his old coach his his college and NBA jersey as well. So and also doing little other charity events as well. Bryce doing the baseball game, throwing the first pitch as well. Just things like that. I just did on my own. To make sure that I showed him in a great light. I really want to just focus on him to let everybody else see the great guy that I got to know.
Wow, that's a great manager right there. So props to you. A lot of people kind of focus on the hype when they kind of get into the big leagues, but that's good. You still made it home based and basically making sure he remains human, because people know that once you get into the NBA, it kind of, the lights shine too bright sometimes. So that's really good on your part. Okay, talking about Young Money. So you're with Young Money now, client relations manager, correct? I don't think that your title. Okay.
Yes.
So what is it like being involved in that agency? I know you weren't kind of as hyped, because rightfully so, you've earned this. You've worked your tail off to get here. So I wouldn't think that you're super surprised, but what's it like to be involved with someone listening right now who wishes to be in this agency or wishes to be in an agency in the future?
It's still a dream come true. It really is. Like I told you, like I told you before, my junior senior of high school, of college, I applied to so many different people. I had created a video my senior year, every top basketball player that I knew was going to be in the NBA one day, that's going to the NBA that next following year, or all on D1 that was highly ranked. So I had a video with probably around 15 guys that are all ranked top 100 in their classes. And I had created a fake agency where they all said, hey, I support Dazz and Simpson and Uprising Sports. Even Zion Williamson was one of the guys in the video who said it as well, showing his support for me. So I thought then, just me alone, just having him and all the other guys. I even had Bryce's brother, Trey McGowens, who's also in the NBA G League. He's in the Hooper video of mine as well when he was a junior in high school. So I had a lot of it, and Devontae Schuler as well was in the video as well. He plays for the Washington Wizards GP. So I can keep going on and on and on. But I had so many guys that's already now affiliated with the NBA that would support me then in high school, where I just knew like one of these agencies sooner or later is gonna come out and reach to me while I was in school, is give me an internship or something. So the fact that they did it, it was a bummer, because I'm like, I have all these connections that God blessed me with. How am I not able to utilize them? But so me being with Young Money APAA was a dream come true, because like I said, this is what my goal first was, is to do this. And now I'm able to really showcase my skill set. Like my grandma always told me that God bless everybody with a gift. And for the longest, like my first 21 years of life, I did not know what my gift was. And the whole time it was in my face, and it was networking and connecting with people, and just relating to people. And so just me realizing that's my God's gift, now it's just my time to really just, just exude it at all levels, and just keep doing everything that my family and my grandma taught me. And I feel like I'm talking in circles. I apologize. Like I said,
fine.
Like I said, but being with Young Money, like I said again, it's a dream come true, because it shows me that all my hard work didn't go unnoticed.
Facts.
I don't have just not one person, but I have a whole company and agency that's behind me that believes in me. So it's more than hard. It's like, I cried. I'll be honest with you, I cried. Like I said, when I first got the message, I wasn't overly excited, but once I signed that dotted line in the contract,
yeah,
I cried then, because then it was real to me, So I'm very optimistic, but I'm also realistic as well. So during the whole process, because like I was saying before, how I did your thing with Bryce, that was from July to September, and they reached out to me in September.
Wow. So
I could, for those short few months, I was really doing stuff freelance on my own until Young Money came in the picture. So, and I still didn't officially sign with them until 2 months later. But even that 2-month process, I'm still being optimistic, hoping it goes through. At the same time, if it don't, I still got to do what I'm doing regardless. I still got to work. I still got to take care of my other responsibilities. I can't put all my eggs in this one basket if it doesn't go through. And being with Young Money, man, this is amazing. The head guys, and his name is Adi. Like, it's not too many CEOs of companies you can just reach out and talk to every day. Mm-hmm. Conversation, and that really cares about you as a person and family. The fact that he's a co-founder of the whole agency. Him and the rapper Lil Wayne, he's the whole co-founder of this agency, and he's one of the most down to earth, relatable guys I've ever met. And that's one of the reasons why I went there, because it was just like, I've met other people in his position, and not that they were snobby, or buttholes, but they didn't take the time of day to really want to connect with their, I'll be honest, like employees or just people that's trying to be in the industry. And the other guy's name is David Cohen. He's the VP of marketing at Young Money APAA. He's also an NBA agent as well. Even him too, just how relatable he is. Me and him, we can talk on the phone for hours out after day about anything. We come up with different game plans together for our guys that we have for the company. So me being with them, man, it was amazing. It was genuine. That was my whole thing. It's the authenticity of the relationship with me and the guys there before I even signed that paper. It was just amazing.
Wow.
That's awesome to hear. Speaking of your grandma, you keep mentioning her. I'm gonna have to like talk to her because she has so many good quotes. I'm like, I need to like write a board, like a vision board of all her quotes.
So she passed away in 2018.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay. But this is how I pay my homage to her, to let her know, like, and show her even from up there, like, I listened to everything you said, even when you thought I wasn't. And like I told you, like I was saying before, how I was the rebel, I was the wild child. When I was in college, you know, had a rough patch. I had my son when I was 21, my junior year of school. So when I had my son, school got a little more hard, you know. His name is Princeton.
Shout out to Princeton.
So, and I tell everybody, but that's when my flip had switched, to be honest with you, because I thought, like, how can I teach a kid to overcome adversity if I don't do it myself? How can I teach them to persevere if I don't do it myself? You know, like my grandma another quote my grandma used to always say, do it as I say, not as I do. But I was just like, that never worked for me. Because to me, like, you gotta lead by example. So when it came to my son, I didn't want to tell him that same quote my grandma said, do as I say, not as I do. No, like, I'm gonna show you what to do while telling you what to do. You know? Because I was like, he's anything like me. He might be a little rebellious and think that you're a hypocrite. So I was like, I can't be a hypocrite. I have to stand on everything that I say, and I have to lead by example. But so my grandma passed away May 4th, 2018. Her dying wish was to see me graduate college. I graduated college May 11th, 2018.
Wow.
So she passed away literally 7 days before I graduated college.
7 is a lucky number, right?
It is. So I'm not sure if you're into numerology or not.
I don't know. I'm not, I wouldn't say I'm a professional, but I'm sure you can teach me many things. So
yeah. So I got into numerology a few years ago. So it's just crazy once I got into it, I realized like how impactful those numbers were that it says that apparently relates to. My life path number is 5, my destiny number is 4, and my soul urge number is 7. And my grandma passed away May 4th. That's 504. Those are my 2 numbers. And 7 days from my graduation, that's 7 days. And she passed away at 7 a.m.
So she
passed away May 4th at 7 a.m. And those literally are my numerology numbers.
That is wild.
And once like I said, I found this out 2 years after she passed away, when I just started like deep diving and realized like, what if your doctor means to, and I just even looking at it like Bryce, my first client, his high school and college number was 5. He got drafted to the Charlotte Hornets. Guess what number they gave him? 7. So like it's crazy how these numbers,
it's pretty scary.
Obviously, like great for it to happen to him, but yeah, those numbers are crazy.
Like, and I see these numbers a lot. So it's like I said. So once I got into it and did a whole deep dive and learned about it, it's very unique. And what's even more wicked is that I got Bryce into it. Yeah, me and Brandon have the same numbers except for his destiny number. Bryce life path number is 5 as well, like mine. His soul urge number is 2, and his destiny number is 2, and his soul urge number is 7. So we got 2 of the same numbers as well, and both those numbers he played in college and in the NBA with. It's crazy.
See, you guys are meant to be on this journey together. It just makes sense.
It does. It does. And like I said, God works in mysterious ways.
Well, shout out to your grandma. I'm sure she's so proud to be looking down on you. But okay, so you're with, like you said, you're in this agency for people. Like I said, our audience is up and coming people looking to do what you do. What is it like? Like, give us a day in the life of working in an agency. Like, take us through that day.
So my daily routine, I wake up pretty early and get on it because I'll stay in the East Coast. So if I wake up around 7, it's around 4 or 5 a.m. in the West Coast. So I try to get my day started for anybody else. My main thing, so with my client relations position, I have to reach out to current and potential clients with Young Money APAA to make sure that they're satisfied, make sure all their needs are met. If they have any problems or anything that's going on, I'm the person to talk to make sure that it gets resolved. I also do recruiting, and I bring guys to agency or as college or professional, and I help them with NIL and marketing. So I'm on the phone with the different brands and different companies to try to get our guys different deals, NIL, or professional endorsements. And then I also, even when I talk to different brands, and let's say they got an audience that's not being touched somewhere. For instance, like McDonald's, they had an audience in Oregon that they felt like wasn't being tapped into. I had no clients in Oregon at all. So I did my resources and reached out to the basketball team, some guys that I knew, and I helped them guys get a McDonald's NIL deal, a couple of those guys there. So that's pretty much what it takes. I just, like I said, networking too. If I didn't have those relationships with a couple of those guys, they would have missed out, and I would have missed out on the opportunity to, working with a great company that's McDonald's. And then same thing with Bryce as well. I try to figure out his interests. Even if he goes to a new restaurant and he likes the restaurant, I say, shoot, I'll reach out to him. I send an email to see if there's any way you can, do a pop-up shop or signing, or if they do any thing as well. So it's just figuring out what suits each client differently. A lot of people have a cookie cutter business, but with Young Money, we want to do marketing that fits only you. So we help our guys. We have our guys a lot of questionnaire. Because let's say if you like Chipotle, but Moe's wants to give you an NIL deal or endorsement deal, what's the point of doing it if you know you don't even like Moe's? You rather do Chipotle. So we'll tell Moe's we'll find somebody else within our company that likes Moe's. And since you like Chipotle, we'll go straight to Chipotle and find help for you. That's only pretty much what my day-to-day is, just making sure I find things that fits my clients, that make them happy. Because like I said, if you're going to promote something, you should promote something that you believe in wholeheartedly, not just because they're offering the most money. You should do that.
Yeah, I agree. That's awesome. Also, so you're talking about networking, rightfully so. Like, it takes a village for people to move up in their careers or even get in through the door. So can you speak on some of the skill sets that maybe whether it be networking, but what kind of person does it take to do the work that you do?
I'll be honest with you. Anybody that works in the sports industry, I think they have to be a dog. Meaning that they got to have fight. So no matter my position, any position, being an agent, because this business is fun once you achieve, but the process is a long, hard-fought process. So you got to be stronger. Your commitment got to be way stronger than your current circumstance in this business. A lot of people say that they committed, that they want it, but as soon as they get hit in the mouth, they give up in the fight. So you got to have that dog. You got to have that grit and that grind, no matter what your position is. And actually, even if it's social media marketing, you still got to have that grit and that grind, because you have a million other people trying to have the same position as they're shooting right now that might be better than you, might come take your spot one day. So if you're not having that dog mentality, that ground mentality, and try to figure out a way to win every day, you're going to lose. So I think that's really what it takes in any position in the sports industry. You just got to have that fighting. You got to be able to listen. You got to be able to adapt. Can't be a know-it-all, because like every day there's something new you got to learn. I'm learning right now about NFTs. I know nothing about NFTs. And I'm having to learn about that right now, because that's something that, it's another stream of revenue for our clients. That, NFTs are offering different NIL deals and endorsement deals for guys. So now I'm having to do my research and learn about NFTs. So even Bitcoin, so you have to learn every day. You can't be stuck in your ways. You got to adapt. You got to stay up the tops. And you got to fight. You got to grind.
Yeah, I think those are excellent words you just mentioned. The grind definitely does not stop in this industry. Me and Dazz will tell you straight off the bat, but yeah, adaptable, because this market is constantly like changing every year. The NBA rules change, I feel like every month or so. So that's really well said. I definitely agree with you. Moving forward, so let's talk about, so you talked about clients, you talked about Bryce, like, Charlotte Hornets rookie, shout out to Bryce McGowens. Funny fact, I don't even think I mentioned this for everyone who's listening. I actually met Dazz at NBA Summer League, and it was kind of like a interaction. Like, I was taking photos and he's like, oh, hey, shouting out to his guys, rightfully so, being the great manager he is. He's like, hey, number 7 right there, Bryce McGowens. Yeah, he's doing great. He has 20 points right now. Do you mind getting some shots for him? And that's kind of like how we linked up in a way, which I thought was really funny.
Yeah. But that's just who I am as a person. Like I was telling you earlier, like, just relating, was just being able to have a conversation on like, because before I didn't just stop you and say, hey, I asked you what your name were, I asked you what you do, I asked you what you worked for.
Smart.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, I have a client, that's playing right now. If you can get some extra shots for them, I really appreciate it. So it wasn't like I just stopped and said, hey, take pictures. I really got to know you first, and we had a conversation.
Right.
Yeah. Then you're like, okay. He's like, oh, you're gonna be here tomorrow? I was like, yeah, I'm gonna be here all weekend. So, but that's basically how we met, for everyone who's wondering. But speaking of clients, we talked about, his brother Trey. Awesome guys. You guys are so great to me, and going forward, what's the kind of the goal as far as like managing your clients? How many clients do you manage currently right now, and what's your goals like moving forward as far as doing the best that you can do for them?
Oh, right now, my old clients, I only have 4 of my own, but I help out with the whole agency, everyone that we have. But
Where's the So
I don't want anyone to think that 4 is like, so like you talk, people, Dazz talked about what he does in day in the life. Like 4 is probably like 400 to some people managing. So that's props to you.
I really appreciate that. But I mean, I have a goal. My goal is to have 20. That's my goal of my own. But no, I just got here literally November. I got to Young Money in November. I already brought 4 guys on, and this February just started. So like I said, my goal is 20 is my end all goal to manage, and then as far as the agency, like I said, I still bring guys. So even if I bring a guy to the agency, doesn't mean I have to be his manager. But I can still bring him to the company where he can hire one of our agents. We have a bunch of agents that you can choose from. Whichever one, you decide you like better, I guess. But I can still bring them on. Like I said, I don't have to per se do his day to day or stuff, but I can still bring them on. I can still introduce them to everyone else, and they can take full control, at the right point on it. And I can still bring them deals and everything as well on the side. But his have to be like mine. I say it's just everything's a team effort at Young Money. Everything's team effort. There's no me guys. There's no I brought them, you brought mine. Nah, it's strictly teamwork. Everybody works as one.
So you talked right now about, if you bring in a player, and like there's so many great agents that you've mentioned at Young Money. What's that like? Does everyone like get in a room and interview the player one-on-one, and then the player kind of decides rightfully then, or how does that work?
I'm curious.
Well, so with the football side, we have 2 good agents as well, and I'm trying to think how I can say it without it sounding kind of messed up. Because you have better relationships with some people than others. So the ones I have a better relationship with are pretty much the ones that pretty much get the kind of first deals on the guys that I'm bringing. To be honest with you, and obviously, like if the guy's not probably doing this guy's vibe, he's a good guy, but it's something about him. Okay, cool. We have different options. But mainly, pretty much goes against whoever I have the best relationship with. I can say, I hope that doesn't get in trouble.
No. This is the industry. I'm like, we're cut in stone. Like we're telling it how it is for people who are, haven't gotten a chance to work in the industry yet. So we're laying it all out. I love this.
Like I said, because regardless, you're all gonna work together no matter what. As far as the client. So it's not like there's only be one person. Even if the person chooses Gabby over Jesse, doesn't mean Jesse's still not gonna do his part or help out with the client. Helping Gabby with whatever. So I said we're all one big team, no matter what.
That's great. So we talked about you're doing amazing things with Young Money. You definitely shout them out, rightfully so. But what do you do as far as outside of your career and outside of your work that kind of help you with your creative process as far as doing your jobs to the best of your abilities? Do you have any other outside passions?
Besides
NFTs? I'm just kidding.
I've been coaching my little league team, and it's a passion I did not know I had. I really didn't. I I didn't even sign up to be his coach. You know, his coach came to me and asked me for extra help, and I ended up like during the point of my son's practices and just seeing like the smiles on the kids' faces, you know, how eager they are to learn, how much forward they look to going to practice every day. It kind of gave me a warm spot in my heart. I was just like, man, I didn't realize I was going to love and enjoy this so much because with my son, you know, like him and my nephew, they stay with me, you know, and I teach them both basketball. We work on it because they want to learn, but I didn't want to be his own basketball coach. I wanted him to learn structure and discipline from another man other than just me. So that's why I didn't really sign up at first. But even when he saw the reaction that his teammates was getting with me being there, he started asking me every day as well, Daddy, come to practice. I'm about to practice. Now they even more want to be involved. So seeing him and his teammates and friends, their reaction, it definitely gave me a new passion that I didn't know I had. So now after like almost every year, I've been coaching this little UT.
And fun fact, that's actually how you lost your voice, correct?
That's definitely how I lost my voice.
Yeah, so I'm guessing. Yeah, I'm guessing you're a parent who watches their child. Like, are you one that yelled at the refs? Are you an aggressive? No? Oh, okay.
But see, like, I don't yell at the refs, but I have conversations with them. You know, like
conversations.
No, but I do because, like, you know, I know they got a job. You know, and so yes, it's little kids. So I'm not gonna curse you out or scream at you. But like, you know, at halftime, I walk over to you and be like, so, no, my big man, he can't get not one foul. You know, he's getting every rebound, putting it back up. He can't get one foul. You know, I have a conversation with him. I'm not gonna call him out their name. I'm not gonna talk too overly aggressive because I do have a habit. People tell me all the time I talk aggressive. So I've been working on it. So when it comes to the referees, especially a little league game, I'm trying my best to get a nice laugh and calm dash and talk to them, and you know, just try to see where they're coming from. You know, but that's really it. I don't do too much. But me yelling is because they have practice 2 days a week and they got a game on Saturdays.
Okay.
So yelling at them Tuesday and Thursday, yelling at them on Saturday, they're the games, and that's how I lost my voice.
Yeah, it's probably like positive yelling, right? Like you're cheering them on. Yeah, like get down the court.
I get so excited. I'm a proud dad. I'm very proud. Like, this is my son, you know, first year playing organized basketball, and it's crazy how much improvement he's done and how well he plays the game. Like, his shot now, he was a goofy uncoordinated kid a few months ago. So the man's on the court over to the legs, doing the ice in my vein. You know,
well, D'Angelo Russell.
Yeah, like he's doing the you little fine now. Like you didn't even know how to play basketball from the start, and now you do all these celebrations.
Potential future client, I see it in the works.
You know, we're gonna speak it to existence. You know, but like I tell I'll be honest with you know, side note, I tell them all the time, you don't have to be a basketball player because this is your dad's profession. If you're gonna be a basketball player, that's because that's what she wants to do, and that's what she loves, and that's what your passion is. But don't think you have to do that because, you know, that's what I do in my everyday life. I tell them, you can be president one day if you want to. You can be a lawyer, you can be a doctor, you can be an entrepreneur. No matter what you want to be, you can be. I don't want you to feel like you have to be a basketball player because of me. And he understands that, and he still loves it. He still goes hard at it. He wants to train it every single day. Because I don't want to be one of those parents that force their kid to play or be that overzealous parent. Like that's not me. Like, to be honest with you, I probably wouldn't even train him if he didn't come to me and act. Like he wakes me up and say, Dad, let's go to the gym. Okay, let's go. No, but if he didn't do that, he probably wouldn't go to the gym just because, like I said, I don't want to be that parent that makes his kid do something.
Yeah, sky's the limit. I love that. Kids, everyone listening, you could be the next president. Just listen to Dazz.
I'll be out there. I saw a documentary with Stephon Marbury, and I saw where he said no one's never told him that growing up, and I thought about it. No one never told me that either.
Yeah.
Or it's common in the Black community. Also, it's like no one has really ever has told a kid that. No one's never told me that you're president one day. Never thought that. So that's why I made sure I let my son know anything you want to be in this world, it's very achievable. You just gotta have a passion, you know, research your passion, study it, and then go attack it. Come up with a plan and attack it. Simple. Love
that. So we're kind of coming to the end of the show, you know, but I hope everyone's been taking all your knowledge that you've been, you know, basically spitting at them and consuming it. So, because it's such great wisdom that you're kind of sharing with us. And I appreciate you for being so candid also. What are some basically your future goals? I know you mentioned that you want to eventually have 20 clients in the future, but 2023, where do you see yourself with Young Money? Like, I know you talked about like COO, like the guys there, like what's kind of going through Dazz's head right now as far as the future?
Right now, I'm taking it day by day right now. I'll be honest, my end goal, like I told you before, as of right now, is 20 clients, and I want to be a millionaire. That's one of my goals. I've had that goal since I was 14 years old. I had it since I was 14 years old. So being a millionaire and having 20 clients, by the end of the year, this is my goals right now. As far as anything else, I'm taking it day by day. Because my goals, I had new goals all the time. And I'll be honest with you, every goal I've ever set for myself, except for being a millionaire and the 20 clients I've achieved. Every goal I've ever set for myself. So I'm going to come up with some new goals, and next time we speak again, I'll be sure to have them down for you and tell you.
Nice. I like those goals. I'll manifest it with you. I'll be a millionaire too. We'll be millionaires together.
Definitely will.
So like I said, this episode so far has been so great, and talked about sharing your knowledge and everything, but I want to also ask, like, people, like I said, our audience is basically up and coming people who are grinding just like you, looking to make it. What kind of, I know you did like motivational speaking that you kind of talked about prior, but do you have any like wisdom or even like motivational speaking to people who are listening right now who are maybe down on themselves that haven't gotten their like foot in the door yet?
I mean, like I said before, like, sometimes things come to you and you're not looking for it, chasing it. Then my 5-year journey, when I graduated, I said, while I was in school, I had an internship with David, and I didn't get another job in sports till 4 years later. I worked at AT&T doing door-to-door sales. I worked at a car wash. I worked at a roofing company selling roofs, and I'm afraid of heights. And when I heard how much money they was making just to get on the roof and inspect it and sell it, I almost came my fear of heights. So, like I say, so my journey, everybody's journey is going to be different. Like I said, you got to keep your main goal the main goal. You have to be, your commitment has to be way stronger than what you're going through right now. It's the same thing with the marriage. People say how they love their wife and they commit to their wife. But if you're going through tough times, that's where you're going to see how committed that you are. And I was at my lowest of the lows. I missed someone else too as a mentor, Rich Klein. He's Kevin Durant's manager. And he's someone that, re-motivated me, relit a fire under me. Because, once he recognized me, that's when I knew, okay, like I can really like be in this business. He reached out to me as well in 2019. At this time, I worked at a car wash. Like I wash your cars for a living, making a little bit of money. And he gave me the opportunity. He was like, we could come to LA, during this time, right? We can sit and meet, have a real conversation and talk. All I had is $200 to my name. I literally, like, I had $200 to my name that I had to literally, I sold some shoes, I sold some clothes, I sold a PlayStation, I bought a plane, I bought a round trip from LA and back. And then I was like, okay, now I need somewhere to stay now. Like all the money I had, I just where I could have. But I'm not, but like that's what I say. I'm an all-in type of guy. Like I take risk. I bet on myself, and I would rather fail than knowing that I didn't even try. A lot of people don't even try because they feel like, oh, I'm gonna fail. Well, I want to see if I am, So I spent the money on the flight, and I asked my older brother, can I borrow another $200? Even the girl I was dating at the time, she gave me her dad's debit card.
Wow.
And I was like, I'll be honest with you, I was in LA for a week. Another good friend of mine, his name is Aaron Henderson. Him and his wife let me crash on that couch the whole week I was there, trying to figure this out. And his wife is Aaron Henderson is an NBA agent and NFL agent and lawyer. He works for Vanguard. His wife is also at the time she was Magic Johnson's personal assistant. Now I think she got moved up to VP of Magic Johnson Enterprise. So great connections, like I said before, networking. But but I'm there in LA and I had nothing. I have barely any money, and I'm just like, okay, what now? Now what? Like I got there, let's say on a Monday. I don't meet Rich climbing until like a Wednesday or Thursday. So now I have these 2-3 days of trying to figure out, what can I do during this time frame to really like even improve, get better at how to network. So Rich Kleiman sent me a bunch of different things a bunch of different networking events to go to around LA. One was at the Ritz-Carlton. One was Matt Barnes. He had a party at the Porsche dealership. Another was at a place called the Montage in LA.
Oh yeah.
So bro, I went to all these things by myself. Like I went literally by myself, and I got there and I was so nervous and scared. Like I told you before, like I got anxiety. So the first 20 minutes, I'm just sitting on the couch by myself. Like I'm seeing so many celebrities walk by. I see Patrick Mahomes walk by, Gronk walk by, Dwight Howard, movie stars, and I see all these people that I watched on TV. I'm from a small town in South Carolina. It's not many people where I'm from sitting in this role of these different types of people. So I was telling myself, like, how can I get out of my comfort zone right now? What can I do? Like, I can't just go ask somebody to put a picture down like a fan. I got to really present myself in a way like I want to be in this business. So I guess so. I seen a group of women. I walked up to them, had casual conversation because I was like, all this fails. I know I can talk to women. All this fails. I can talk to women. So I talked to a group of women. While I was talking to them, a couple other guys come up. A guy named Jay Reeves. He's an actor. He done a lot of movies and TV shows as well. He was on the show All American. But when he tapped me, I looked at him and I was like, oh snap! Like you were an actor. Right? I saw you on TV. And he was like, yeah, and this was everybody you're with. So I was like, okay, cool. I didn't know his name, but I just introduced him. And once that happened, he brought over some more people that he knew from the industry. And we all just talked and networked, had a great night. I was able to meet Dwight Howard eventually that night, taking a picture with him, having a conversation with him as well. But it's just the fact that like I went from in my little bubble where I had to put myself out there. The same thing that David was telling me all along when I first got with him. Like I have to network. I have to put myself out there. Well, I was able to make great connections that I have now. Another good friend of mine, his name is J. Ron Irby. He works for ESPN. He's over all the social media marketing. I never went to Los Angeles, but never met him. He's a great friend of mine as well. Another guy named Charles Washington, call him Chuck. He worked for Uninterrupted, LeBron James media company. Great connection. Me and him, we locked in from me going out there as well. And I was still able to meet Rich Kleiman as well, where we said, what people make that joke about with Jay-Z, like, would you rather have 500,000 or Jay-Z? Well, I chose the dinner with Rich Kleiman. All the money in my pocket I had, I chose to sit down and have this dinner. That dinner changed my life forever. He's someone I can still call on that FaceTime right now to this day. He gives me great advice. He gives me great mentorship. And I remember being mad because after the end of the meeting, I thought he was going to offer me a job. I really did. I thought he was going to give me some type of position with his company. And he looked at me and said, man, I'm going to teach you how to fish and give you a fish. He said, I'll be doing you a disservice just to give you a job. Well, I'd rather teach you what you need, in order to succeed. And even at that time, we're talking maybe 4 years ago, I'm still like, what? I just spent everything I had. I just spent all the money I had to meet you and just to have a conversation. I'm thinking a job's come out of it, but now looking back at it, I'm so grateful. I'm happy that I put myself out there. I'm happy I took that chance. Mm-hmm. I'm happy I was able to network. I ended up going to the ESPYs. I ended up making more connections at the ESPYs as well, meeting up a lot of people that I still talk to on a daily basis now that I met then. So it's an amazing journey that God has put me through. The guy has had me on. I'm grateful for every single thing, for every up and down. Man, like I said, I'm not too proud to say I was broke. Like I was so broke, but now, I'm successful. I thank God, and I'm continue to thank him throughout this process, no matter what.
And, you mentioned your story. I'm sure a lot of people, rightfully so, have a very relatable story to you and can connect with you like this, being so candid, like I said. So all of this is so great. And I appreciate your honesty. you show so much love to people. I swear, I think you shout out like 10 people right now, and rightfully so. They kind of raised you. You're up and coming right now, but I just want to say you have a big heart and don't ever lose that. I don't think you ever will. I'm just reminding you, but that's kudos to you. Kudos to you.
Thank you. And like I told you before, 2023, I lost my uncle in December. Yeah, he was like the only grandfather I ever had. I didn't have. I only had one grandparent growing up, and that was my grandmother that passed away in 2018. And this was her brother. So he played a grandfather role for me. You know, he took me fishing, took me to my first college visit, you know, taught me, you know, our culture. So, but when he passed away, I felt like I wasn't able to tell how much he impacted me while he was here. I wasn't able to let him know because I was so into being successful, achieving this, doing this. I'm always on a roll going. Like you said, this up every time you see me, I'm somewhere else with you. So I felt like I was so much into like career driven where I not neglected, but I didn't let people know how much I appreciate them while they was here. So that's why every chance I get, I want them to know I love them as much as possible. I wouldn't be here without them. Like I said, people can say all day, I got here on my own, I did this by myself. That's good to say. I did it. I had a lot of help, had a lot of support. I had people that believed in me more than I believed in myself. You know, and another quote my grandma used to always say, like, don't focus on the haters, don't focus on the negativity, because you don't know who's praying for you. You have no idea who's out there praying for you. You have no idea who's wishing you aren't successful. So instead of me saying, oh, they don't support me, oh, they don't like me, oh, they hate me. Now I'm saying, okay, cool. They do love me. They do support me. I'm going to keep going for those people. I'm not doing this for the haters. I'm doing this for the people that love me, that sacrifice for me to be here one day. So, and that's why I paid as much homage as possible to the people that I spoke of, because I wouldn't be here without none of them at all. I'm not going to say I did this on my own. I had a lot of help and a lot of support and a lot of love.
Yeah, I think that is a perfect ending to end with your grandma's quote. Shout out to your grandma. Like I said, I'm sure she's proud of you, but for everyone who, you know, wants to stay connected with you, wants to hype you up, be your hype man, stay connected, you know, where can they follow you on your socials?
My Instagram is DSIMP32. That's my Instagram. That's my Twitter. My Snapchat is Dizzy32, DIZZZ.
Okay, throw the Snapchat in there. All right, I see you.
My Snapchat has 4 Z's. I'm on all social media. My LinkedIn is my name, Dazmine Simpson, DAZ, and my last name is Simpson. We'll be sure to link everything, you know, in the episode. But, you know, like I said, we're going to continue to hype you up. I'm going to continue to hype you up. I'm going to continue to learn from you. I know everyone who's listened to this podcast right now throughout the whole episode, appreciate everyone for tuning in. But there's been so much information and so much, like I said, knowledge. And I appreciate you again for hopping on and taking the time. I'm happy your voice is healthy overall. Thank you so much. And thank you for having me. Like I said, this is my first experience, first time. You know, I love being out my comfort zone. So I appreciate you so much.
When I feel like right when I met you at NBA Summer League 2, this is just like a little side note, I could feel the passion that you had with the work that you do. And the goal on our show is to have people that inspire others. And I feel like you're doing just that. So stay the course, and I'll see you at the top. We're going to the moon, millionaires, right?
Definitely, 100%.
But again, I appreciate you. We will, like I said, link all of Dazz's socials. But Dazz, I appreciate you again, and we'll definitely talk soon.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Sports Business Classroom Audio Experience with Dazmine Simpson, Client Relations Manager of Young Money APAA Sports. I want to personally thank Dazz for sharing his story with us today. Dazz inspires me to continue to chase after my dreams and do what I love, and I'm doing just that with this show. He reminds me to appreciate the people who have spent their time and energy to guide me in my career thus far and celebrate them on a daily basis. This conversation with Dazz was a great reminder for me to know that no dream is too big, and we will all soon be millionaires. I hope this episode inspired you.